What a wonderful Christmas present. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. And today I'm talking about Psych, the movie. I was so excited for this movie. It's not even a movie that most people are excited for or will watch. I mean, a lot of people are excited for it and will watch it, but probably not going to be a very popular movie for me to talk about. But I was so excited for this because Psych is one of my absolute favorite shows. If you watched my video on Tuesday, I counted down my top 5 favorite episodes in Psych, and I also talked about how much Psych meant to me in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. Both of those videos can be found linked in the description, linked somewhere in this video. You'll be able to find them. But Psych the movie finally came out and I couldn't be happier. Going into this movie, I knew I was going to love it, mostly because of the fact that I love Psych, and good or bad, this movie would have been perfect. I would have loved it no matter what. But this movie is so great. I feel like I was just back there watching it all over again, like it had never ended. But that might have been the fact for the past 2 months, pretty much, I've been watching the entire series of Psych all over again in preparation for this moment. So that might be on me, but it still feels like it never ended. I seriously miss this show so much. Watching this movie felt like going back to one of my favorite places on earth. This show is like my happy place, but in show form. It's just so wonderful and funny and heartfelt and hilarious and quick-witted. It's just everything about this show is just so amazing. I'm going to try to make this as spoiler-free as possible because it's full of inside jokes and fun throwbacks that just have to be seen to be appreciated, and I don't want to spoil that for anybody because I was just so happy to see them myself. But I will say, if you watched my top 5 favorite episodes of Psych, it starts off with a throwback to my favorite Psych costume of all time. It's not the best movie. There are flaws in it. As a fan of Psych and as a fan of movies, I love the show so much. It means so much to me that this movie is just so perfect, even with its flaws. I think it's just because I love the characters so much. They're so well written and they're so well acted, and this movie is so well made that it just doesn't matter how bad anything else is. And it's not like anything is horrible, it's all great. It's just there's some things that I probably could have done without, or they could have done differently. I don't want to spoil that for anybody. There's some guest stars that they seem like they would have a bigger role that didn't really have as much of a role. Although I will say that Mary Lightly has my favorite scene in the entire movie, or one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, and so does John Cena. I wish John Cena had a bigger role, but that is a spoiler for his role. I'm not going to talk about John Cena anymore. I'm not going to talk about Mary Lightly's scene either because both of them are amazing spoilers, but let's just say that they are probably 2 of the best parts of this movie. Some other things that I really wish they could have done a little bit better on, they didn't really go into what Psych is all about. It's Sean using his powers of deductive reasoning and being a very keen sense of observation and photographic memory, and they only really focused on it 2, maybe 3 times tops. That's kind of a spoiler, not really, but it's just they could have done more with Sean's gift, I guess, and pretty much the entire premise of the show is built around this gift that Sean has, and they don't really do anything with it in this movie. Maybe they'll be doing more with it in future movies. That's kind of a spoiler to the end of the movie, but it's still a great movie. That's probably the one big downside I have to this, is they really just don't play with Sean's gift as much as they probably could have. And because it's a 2-hour long with commercials, so about an hour and a half long movie, basically a feature length episode, it does have time for those tender, serious moments that you only get maybe in 1 or 2 episodes per season. So it's really nice to see that they brought pretty much every element of most every episode into this one movie, because it's pretty much their one chance to be back, and I hope it's not their one chance. I hope they get more chances. I would watch a Psych movie once a year, every year. Like, just give me a Psych movie every Christmas. I'll be happy. I do want to talk about Zachary Levi, though, for just a minute. He has a strange British accent in this movie, and they point out that it's really weird and strange. And I wasn't a fan of it. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Zachary Levi's hair either, but he still was actually really surprisingly great in this role. I mean, he's a great actor, and he's mostly known for Tangled, I think. I was surprised, and I really enjoyed his performance. And just a couple more things before I wrap up this video. They threw in pretty much every main character from the series into this, even if they had very small roles compared to their roles that they had in the original series. Spoiler alert, Lasseter's only in this for like a minute. Because Timothy Omundson had a heart attack, I think while they were filming the movie, he couldn't really be in the movie. I think that's the whole reason, but his role in the movie is really beautiful, and I love it, and it really shows how great of a person Lasseter really is and has become since the first episode of the series. And also a character that they brought back for this was Woody, the coroner, who was probably one of my favorite side characters in the entire series. He plays a much bigger role in this than he normally does. It's great. I love it. The episode that he plays the biggest role in is Last Night Gus. It didn't make my top 5 or my runners up, but Last Night Gus is still a hilarious episode, and Woody plays a big part in that. And Gus in this movie turns into Last Night Gus, and it is probably one of my favorite things in the entire world, seeing Gus turn into this Rico Suave that he's usually not. And if you're a fan of Psych, you know his long-standing pickup line, and it actually kind of works. And those are all of my thoughts on Psych the movie. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments down below. Did you enjoy it? And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I talk about Psych, other TV shows, movies, filmmaking, nerdy fun stuff, and I would love for you to join me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!